Hello student, welcome to EPG Pathsala. I am Dr. Ajit Jaiswal from Department of Anthropology, Pondicherry Central University, Puducherry. Today we are going to discuss about a modules titled Health and Environment under paper Physiological Anthropology. In this modules, we are going to learn about the concept of health and environment. So, the basic purpose of this module is to understand the relationship between health and environment. This module is also intended to acquaint the student with some of the significant issues like concern on environmental and health, like environment and health, concern on public health and climate, and also on relationship between environment, health, public health, climate, and so on. We also try to learn about globalization and infectious disease is also an important area of discussion in these modules. Okay, now let's discuss about the relationship between environment and human health. Environment related issues that affect our health have been one of the most important triggers in the increasing awareness of the need for better environment management or environmental management. The changes in our environment inducted by human activities is nearly every sphere of life have an influence on our health pattern. The assumption that the only indicator of human progress is economic growth is not true. We expect urbanizations and industrialization to bring in property, but on the downside it lead to disease related to overcrowding and poor quality drinking water, resulting in an increase in waterborne disease like infective diarrhea and airborne bacterial diseases like tuberculosis. High density city traffic leads to an increase in respiratory disease like asthma. Agricultural pesticides that enhance food supply during the Green Revolution have affected both the farm worker and all of us who consume the produce. Modern medicine promised to solve many health problems, especially associated with infectious diseases through antibiotics. But bacteria have found bacteria have found way to develop a resistant strain, frequently even changing their behavior in the process, making it necessary to keep on creating newer antibiotics. Many drugs have been found to have a serious side effect. Sometimes the cure is a demanding is a damaging as the disease progress itself. The development has created several long-term health problems, which better health care has led to longer lifespan, coupled with lower infant mortality. It has also led to an unprecedented growth in our population, which has negative implications on environmental quality. A better health status of society will bring about a better way of life only if it is coupled with stabilizing population growth. Concern on environmental and health. Every 5 minutes, 5 children in developing countries die from malaria or diarrhea. Every hour, hundreds more children die as a result of exposure to indoor smoke from solid fuel. Every day, almost 3,000 people die in low and middle income countries, die from road traffic injuries. In the poorest countries, most of these deaths are among pedestrians. Every month, Nearly 19,000 people in developing countries die from unintentional poisoning, often as a result of exposure to toxic chemicals and pesticides in their work or home environment. Environmental hazards and related illness kill millions globally every year. But while the victims share a common fate, their problems are not necessarily linked in either today's policies agendas or in the minds and action of decision makers. Much of the environmental disease burden is attributable to a few key risks. Those include unsafe water and sanitation, vector-borne disease, indoor smoke from solid fuels, toxic hazards and global environmental change, as well as unsustainable pattern of development that contribute to air pollution, traffic injury, and other forms of urban environmental degradation. Along with the human toll, developing countries fear the economic cost of low productivity, the burden on the health sector, degraded resources, and long-term social consequences. Against these stark realities, policymakers in the developing world grapple with a rapid rate of modernization and change. They face critical development decisions that require a thorough consideration of impacts on environment and health. Concern on natural resources. If only a few people live along the river, their bathing in the river will not jeopardize the use of the river as a source for drinking water. But the river loses their function when a road construction emits its waste into the river. When many people live along the river water can only be used for one purpose, either drinking water, bathing, or as a waste belt. We harvest a portion of the flora and fauna available in the nature. We use water and wind. We cultivate land and we extract oil, gas, and other minerals. In a nutshell, we need the nature as a resource for production and consumption, but we also need it to emit our waste. Both activities may change the characteristics of the nature, resulting in adverse effect on our public health. The various production functions of the environment and may have negative impact on ecosystems themselves. Now let's discuss about concern on public health. Public health is concerned with threat to the overall health of the population of a community. It generally concentrates on surveillance and control of infectious disease and promotion of healthy behavior. In many ways, public health is largely a modern concept, although it has rooted in antiquity. In order for public health policies and programs to develop, it was necessary for government to gain some understanding of the causes of disease. Early on, it was recognized that polluted water and lack of proper waste disposal were
implicated in spreading vector-borne diseases. By Roman times, it was well understood that proper diversion of human waste was a necessary tenet of public health in urban areas.
Concern on production function. The nature is one big resource for our production and consumption pattern. This resource is the production function of the nature. Actually, the environment has a number of production functions. It provides land, it provides energy, it provides water and raw material. It also provides space to, to dump our waste. When we discuss about concern on eco-value, human behavior affect the flora and fauna in particular areas. Beside the value as a resource for production and consumption, nature has a value too and by itself. When a certain species of animal become extinct in a certain area, this is not only sad but will have a serious consequences for the population of other under these circumstances. The flora and fauna will regenerate itself. However, when the harvest exceeds the bearing capacity, it will affect the regeneration capacity and population size. As a result, certain species may become extinct. Similarly, nature has the capacity to transform waste in useful material, which it uses in its regeneration process. Think of the production of compost that is used to feed the soil and plants. However when the composition and the amount of waste exceeds the capacity of the nature to transform, the waste accumulates and changes the nature into a waste belt. Depending on half time of the waste component, eco value and nature production value may be lost for extreme long time. In other words, many natural resources are relatively scarce when their usage is limited. But when their usage is beyond a certain capacity, they transform from relative scarce resources into an absolute scarce resources. The capacity of the nature is referred to as environmental user space, and maximum tolerated behavior capacity is referred to as limited environmental user space.
Environmental health. Environmental health, as defined by WHO, comprises those aspects of human health, including the quality of life, that are determined by physical, chemical, biological, social, and psychosocial factors in the environment. It also referred to the theory and practice of assessing, correcting, controlling, and preventing those factors in the environment that adversely affect the health of present and future generations. Our environmental affect health in a varieties of ways. It affects health in a variety of ways. Climate and weather affect human health. Public health depends on sufficient amount of good quality food, safe drinking water, and adequate shelter. Natural disasters such as storms, hurricanes, and floods still kill many people every year. Unprecedented rainfall triggers epidemics of malaria and waterborne diseases. Global climate change has serious health implications. Many countries will have to adapt to uncertain climatic conditions due to global warming. As our climate is changing, we may no longer know what to expect. There are increasing storms in some countries, drought in others, and temperature rise throughout the world. The El Nino winds affect weather worldwide. The El Nino events of 1997-98 had serious impact on health and well-being of millions of people in many countries. It created serious drought, flood, and triggered epidemics. New strategies must be evolved to reduce our vulnerability to climate variabilities and changes. Economic inequalities and environmental changes are closely connected to each other. Poor countries are unable to meet required emission standards to slow down climate change. The depletion of ozone in the stratosphere, that is middle atmosphere, also has an important impact on global climate and in turn human health, increasing the amount of harmful UV radiation that reaches the Earth's surface. This results in disease such as skin cancer. Development strategies that do not incorporate ecological safeguards often lead to ill health, while strategies that can promote health invariably also protect an environment. Thus, environmental health and human health are closely interlinked, and improvement in health is central to sound environmental management. However, there is a rarely given sufficient importance in planning development strategies. Here there is a number of examples that explain the links, like millions of children die every year due to diarrhea from contaminated water or food. An estimated 2,000 million people are affected by these diseases, and more than 3 million children die each year from waterborne diseases across the world. In India, it is estimated that every fifth children under age of 5 dies due to diarrhea. This is a result of inadequate environmental management and is mainly due to inadequate purification of drinking water. Wastewater and or sewage entering water sources without being treated leads to continuous gastrointestinal diseases in the community and even sporadic large epidemics. Large number of people in tropical countries die of malaria every year, and millions are infected. And inadequate environmental management of stagnant water, the breeding site of the Anopheles mosquito, is the most important factors in the spread of malaria. The resurgence of malaria in India is leading to cerebral malaria that affects the brain and has a high mortality. Similarly, millions of people, mainly children, have poor health due to parasitic infections such as aminobiasis and worms. This occurs from eating infected food or using poor quality waste for cooking food. It is estimated that 36% of children in low income countries and 12% in middle income countries are malnourished. In India, about half the children under the age of 4 are malnourished, and 30% of newborns are significantly underweight. Hundreds of millions of people suffer from serious respiratory disease, including lung cancer and tuberculosis. It forms ill-ventilated homes and public places. Motor vehicle exhaust fumes, industrial fumes, tobacco smoke, and cooking food on improper chulhas contribute to respiratory diseases. Millions of people are exposed to hazardous chemicals in their workplace or homes that lead to poor health due to industrial products where controls are not adhered to. Tens of thousands of people in the world die due to traffic accidents owing to inadequate management of traffic conditions. Ineffective first aid at the accident site and frequent inability to reach a hospital within an hour cause a large number of deaths, especially from head injury. Basic environmental needs such as clean water, clean air, and adequate nutrition, which are all relevant to environmental goods and services, do not reach over 1,000 million people living in abject poverty. Several million people live in adequate shelter or have no roof over their health, especially in urban settings. This related to high inequality in the distribution of wealth and living spaces. Population growth and the way resources are being exploited and wasted threaten environmental integrity and directly affect the health of every individual. So, health is an outcome of the interaction between people and their environment. Better health can only come from more sustainable environmental management.
Important strategies concern. Now let's discuss about the important strategies for this. The world must address people's healthcare needs and the sustainable use of natural resources which are closely linked to each other. Strategies, there must be some strategies to provide clean potable water and nutrition to all people are an important part of a healthy living environment. Providing clean energy sources that do not affect health is a key to reduce respiratory diseases or disorders. Reducing the environmental consequences of industrial and other pollutants such as transport emission can improve public health. Changing agricultural pattern away from the harmful pesticide, herbicide, insecticides which are injurious to the health of farmers and consumers, and using alternatives such as IPM and non-toxic biopesticides can improve the health of the agricultural communities as well as food consumers. Changing industrial system into those that do not use or release toxic chemicals that affect the health of workers and provide living in the vicinity of industry can improve health and environment. Similarly, there is a need to change from using conventional energy to cleaner and safer sources like solar, wind and ocean power that do not affect human health. Providing clean energy will lead to a better health. The key factor are to control human population and consume less environmental goods and services which could lead to health for all. Poverty is also closely related to health and is itself a consequences of improper environmental management, as inequitable sharing of natural resources and environmental goods and services is linked to poor health. Okay, so let's try to define the health impact assessment, what we also called as HIA. According to the WHO defines HIA as a combination of procedure, method, and tools by which a policy, program, or project may be judged as to its potential effect on the health of a population and the distribution of those effects within the population.
Climate and health. Centuries of human civilizations have helped mankind to adapt to living in a wide variety of climates, from the hot tropics to the cold Arctic. In desert, marshland, and in the high mountains, both climate and weather have a powerful impact in human life and health issues. Natural disasters like heavy rain, flood, hurricanes can severely affect the health of a community. Poor people are more vulnerable to the health impact of climate variability than the rich. Of approximately 80,000 deaths which occur worldwide each year as a result of natural disasters, about 95% are in poor countries. In weather-triggered disasters, hundreds of people and animals die, homes are destroyed, crops and other resources are lost. Public health infrastructure like sewage disposal systems, waste management, hospitals and roads are damaged. The cyclone in Odisha in 1999 caused 10,000 deaths. The total number of people affected was estimated at 10 to 15 million. Human psychology can adapt to changes in weather, or in fact, we can say human physiology can adapt to change in weather within certain limits. However, marked short-term fluctuation in weather lead to serious health issues. Heat wave causes heat-related illness and death. The elderly and person with existing heart or respiratory diseases are more vulnerable. The heat wave in India in 1998 was associated with many deaths. Primates play an important role in vector-borne diseases transmitted by insects like mosquitoes. These disease transmitters are sensitive to the direct effect of climate such as temperature, rainfall pattern, and wind. Climate affects their attributions and abundance through its effect on host plants and animals. Malaria transmission is particularly sensitive to weather and climate. Unusual weather conditions, for example a heavy downpour, can greatly increase the mosquito population and trigger an epidemic in the desert and at the highland fringes of malarial areas. Malaria transmission is unstable and the human population lacks inherent protective immunity. Thus, when weather conditions, that is rainfall and temperature, favor transmission, serious epidemics occur in such areas. The fluctuation in malaria over the year have also been linked to changes in rainfall associated with the El Nino cycle.
Infectious diseases. Many infectious diseases have re-emerged with a vengeance. The loss of effective control over disease, such as malaria and tuberculosis, have led to the return of these diseases decades after keeping kept under stagnant control. Other diseases which were not known to science earlier seems to have suddenly hit our health and our lives during the last few decades. Two examples are important, like AIDS, acute immunodeficiency depression syndrome, due to the human immunodeficiency virus HIV, caused through sexually transmissions, and severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS. While these cannot be directly related to environmental changes, they affect the environment in which we live by forcing a change in lifestyle and behavior pattern. For example, SARS outbreak prevented people from several countries from traveling to other countries for months, severely affecting national economic, airline companies, and the tourism industry.
Globalization and infectious disease. Globalization is a worldwide process which includes the internationalization of communication, trade, and economic organization. It involves parallel changes such as rapid social, economic, and political adjustment. While globalization has the potential to enhance the lives and living standard of certain population groups, for the poor and marginalized population in both the non-formal as well as formal economic sectors of developing countries. Globalization enhances economic inequalities industry. Tuberculosis, like what we call TB, kills approximately 2 million people each year. In India, the disease has re-emerged and is now more difficult to treat in 1993. WHO declared that TB had become a global emergency. It is estimated that between 2002 and 2020, approximately 1,000 million people will be newly infected. Over 150 million people will get sick and 36 million will die of TB if its control is not rapidly strengthened. TB is a contagious disease that is spread through the air. Only people who are sick with pulmonary into the air. When infectious people cough, sneeze, talk, or spit, they emit the tubercle bacilli into the air. When a healthy person inhales this, he or she gets infected by the disease. The symptoms include prolonged fever, coughing spell, and weight loss. It is estimated that, left untreated, each patient of active tuberculosis will infect on an average between 10 to 15 people every year. But people infected with TB will not necessarily get sick with the disease. The immune dormant for years. When an individual's immune system is weakened, the chances of getting active TB are greater. Malaria-like is also a life-threatening parasitic disease transmitted by mosquitoes. The cause of malaria, a single-cell parasite called Plasmodium, was discovered in 1880. Later, it was found that the parasite is transmitted from person to person through the bite of female Anopheles mosquito, which requires blood food for the growth of her eggs.
Now let's discuss about water related diseases. The water related diseases which may be concerned are related with water supply, sanitation, and hygiene development. It is also related with environmental sanitation and hygiene development, and health and water resource management. So when we discuss about water related disease, we have to understand, we try to understand the concept about water supply, type of sanitation, hygiene conditions or development, environmental sanitation conditions, health conditions, and waste resource development.
Risk due to chemicals in food. Food contaminated by chemical is an important public health concern. This contamination may occur through environmental pollution of the air, water, and soil. Toxic metals, PCBs, and dioxins are the intentional use of various chemicals such as pesticides, animal drugs, and other agrochemicals have serious consequences on human health. Food additives and contaminants used during food manufacturers and processing also adversely affect human health. Next is diseases spread by food. Some foodborne diseases, though well recognized, have recently become more common. For example, outbreak of Salmonella, which have been reported for decades, have increased within the last 25 years. In the Western Hemisphere and in Europe, Salmonella serotype enteritis, what is called as SE, has become a prominent strain. Investigations of SE outbreak indicate that its emergence is largely related to the consumption of poultry or eggs, while cholera have devastated much of the Asia and Africa for years. Its reintroduction for the first time in almost a century on the South America continent in 1991 is an example of a well-recognized infectious diseases re-emerging in a region after decades. While cholera is often waterborne, many foods also transmit the infection. In Latin America, ice and raw or under-processed seafood are important causes for cholera transmission. Infection with a specific type of E. coli was first described in 1982. Subsequently, it has emerged rapidly as a major cause of bloody diarrhea and acute renal failure. The infection is sometimes fatal, particularly in children. Outbreak of infection, generally associated with beef, have been reported in Australia, Canada, Japan, US, and various European countries, even in Southern Africa. Outbreaks have also implicated alfalfa sprouts, unpasteurized fruit juice, lettuce, game meat, that is meat of wild animals, and cheese curd.
Okay, so dear, now let's try to some of the important points that we have learned in these modules. As we have already discussed that environment related issues that affect our health have been one of the most important triggers in the increasing awareness of the need for better environmental management. We also discuss about development has created several long-term health problems. We all know that every minute 5 children in developing countries die from malaria or diarrhea. Much of the environmental disease burden is attributed to a few key risks. If only a few people live alone along the river, their bathing in the river will not jeopardize the use of the river as a source of for drinking water. We also discuss about public health is concerned with threat to the overall health of the population of a community. We also discuss about the nature is one big resources for our production and consumption pattern. We have seen that human behavior affect the flora and fauna in particular areas. Depending on the half time of the waste component, eco value and nature of production value, may be lost for extreme long time. We have seen that environmental health, as defined by WHO, comprises those aspects of human health which include quality of life that are determined by physical, chemical, biological, social, and psychosocial factors in the environment. Millions of children die every year due to diarrhea from contaminated water or food. Even billions of people are exposed to hazardous chemicals in their workplace or homes that lead to poor health due to industrial products where controls are not adhered to. So, strategies to provide clean potable water and nutrition to all peoples are an important part of a health living environment. Centuries of human civilizations have helped mankind to adapt to living in a wide variety of climate, from the hot tropic to cold arctics, in desert, in marshland, and in the high mountains. Any infectious disease have re-emerged with a vengeance. We also discuss about globalization is a worldwide process which include the internationalization of communication, trade, and economic organizations. Globally, about 2.4 million people live under high unsanitary condition. Even some foodborne diseases, though well recognized, have recently become more common. So we have to take special action, special strategies in order to control, in order to modify the current issues. Thank you.